The Sex Ed with Tim podcast is recorded on the traditional territory of many nations, including the Mississaugas of the Credit, the Anishinaabe, the Chippewa, the Haudenosaunee, and the Wendat peoples, and is now home to many diverse First Nations, Inuit, and Métis people. We acknowledge that Toronto is covered by Treaty 13, signed with the Mississaugas of the Credit, and the Williams Treaty, signed with multiple Mississaugas and Chippewa bands.
You're listening to Sex Ed with Tim.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Sex Ed with Tim podcast. I'm your host, Tim, certified sex educator. I identify as a chaotic homosexual. And why do gay guys buy ribbed condoms? Well, it gets better traction in the mud. Today on the show, I have a very funny comedian all the way from La Ciudad de Mexico. Ow! Keenan, how are you doing, mi amigo?
Hey, what is up? How's it going, Tim? Good to be
I
here.
am so excited to have you on because we connected first on Instagram and then I saw your material and I was like, this guy is not only hot, but also funny. So you're funny for a gay guy. Okay. No, but you're really funny. You're funny
Oh my
for a
God!
gay
First of all,
guy.
thank you. That that's very funny coming from another gay man because it's
I
like
know.
it's like the opposite. Usually, I don't even get that from people, but
No?
I don't even get that from people. I think the only people who would think that are comedy club bookers.
Really? How comedy club book has been
Yeah.
like, you're funny for a homo. You're a hilarious fag.
Minus the funny part. They're just like,
What?
you're a homo.
So that's enough. That's enough to tick off the diversity checklist, right?
Yeah. Well, I wish it was that. It was more like boy, we're getting right into it here, but it's more like there have been times when comedy club bookers have been like, we'll put you in the gay area. There are gay shows. There's a gay show and over here and a gay track because you're a gay comedian. And I'm just like, I'm just a comedian. You could put me in the room with all of the people.
I know. Like, why
Like
do I have
they'll
to be
get me.
categorized?
They'll understand exactly. Like if people get me, people definitely get me. Like and they'll understand.
Yeah, because
You
like
know,
what
and
makes,
they can handle it. And you know,
what makes your comedy specifically gay, right? Comedy's comedy, right?
yeah, comedy's comedy.
Yeah.
If it's funny, you know, people are gonna laugh about it.
Exactly. What got you into comedy, first of all?
By the way, thank you for calling me very funny and hot.
Because you are. I'm not gonna lie to your face. It's just my way of trying to hook up with you when I get to Mexico.
Oh, fantastic. Well, are you a top or a bottom?
I'm I'm versatile. There you
Oh
go.
yeah, me too. So we could have
Perfect.
fun for days.
Best of both worlds.
For so long.
But yeah, what got you into comedy?
What got me into comedy? Well, it's like good question. I guess the first thing that comes to mind, and the most honest answer is that the other stuff wasn't working. Nothing else was working in my life.
Mhm.
Nothing else was making me happy. When I think back to I mean, going way back, like I was like the funny kid in school. Like I was like a class clown growing up. So I was more like the obnoxious kid who would make fun of the teacher all the time in the back of the room. Teachers really hated me.
Troublemaker. Hello.
Yeah.
A hot bad boy. Oh.
And I don't think I was hot at the time. I think I definitely wanted the attention, and I definitely could not control what came out of my mouth. I mean, there's just like when thoughts would come in or when a joke would come in, I was like, this is too good. This comes out, and there was no stopping me. There was no reason. No one ever taught me like you shouldn't speak. I think that message I never understood the message from anybody well enough of like, there's a time for you to not speak. that never made any sense to me, evidently. Like that never registered.
The attention always needs to be on me.
Mm-hmm. And
I totally get that.
so, well, and it's like it was, yeah. And so, and it probably also came from like just unconsciously wanting more attention in school, but or consciously. But I think like once I was in my 20s, I always liked comedians and especially like comedic actors, SNL. A bit of stand-up comedy. Yes, I liked. I loved, like I said, comedy movies and all this stuff in SNL. But I didn't think that I could like be a stand-up comedian. I didn't think that was like a career really. But in my 20s, as I was doing, work and other jobs and having mental health issues,
A gay guy
which
with
later
mental
turned out to
health
be
issues?
OCD.
Whoa, unheard of.
Yeah, unheard of, right? I think just really struggling. I think I did an improv class when I was 23 in New York, just to kind of get out, just to kind of like, oh, this will be a way to like get out of my head and get into the present moment.
Mm.
And when I did that, I was like, this is a revelation.
Oh yeah.
I was like, I've never felt this good or this alive in the moment. I didn't know this like alchemy was possible, that these people could be on stage from nothing and create something really hilariously funny when either you'd go to shows or if you were lucky enough to be part of a scene that was actually made really, really funny. And it just made me feel really connected and probably really human on some level. And it was kind of addicting. And later on, I stopped doing, for whatever reason, I stopped doing it for a little while. And then I picked it back up in my late 20s, improv, and did a lot of improv. And a couple years into improv in that stage, somebody suggested to me, why don't you try an open mic? This woman, this bartender in Brooklyn was like, come to my open mic for 5 minutes at this bar in Brooklyn. She's like, I think you would like it. You'd be good at it. It was this dive bar in Brooklyn, and I didn't really want to do it. She's like, you should do it. And I did it. And I was like, oh, I think I could do this. I think when I was up there and I watched, it was weird. She had this open mic, but she had some of like the better comedians in New York at her mic, and you watch them and they were amazing. And then I was terrible.
You bombed.
Oh yeah, but it was like, yeah. Oh yeah. But there were a couple funny moments, but I also felt like I watched them and I was like, oh, I could do this. And I think from that moment, it was kind of the start of it. It's a long answer, but that was like the start of it, was me being like, I could do this. And as I did more of it, I was like, yeah, I'm much more suited to this than improv. Like I'm not
stand up, yeah.
Great. I'm not, I had my moments in improv, but even like UCB, the theater was like, yeah, we don't want you.
UCB said we don't want you. Holy
yeah, like
shit.
I kept applying for like advanced stuff, the advanced like next level stuff, and they didn't accept me. It's not that I was bad at it at all, but I was probably mixed at it. I had my good moments and bad moments, and like improv has a lot of challenges,
Yes, and all the fucking time.
I feel like I just went on for a long time with you.
No, you did not. Anyway, trust me. It's okay. I'm used to long and boring. No, I'm kidding. You're not boring. I'm kidding. I'm trying to sleep with you. No. I am used to improv mainly because I was escorting for like 4 years and having to act my way through shit. And also because I was like pretending to be straight for 21 years of my life. It didn't come out until I was 21. So I get it. But like stand up is like something that I'm hoping to get back into, because there's just something about making people laugh that's so sexy to me. And it's just nice to like make someone's few minutes a lot better than their whole day. Like you tell a joke and they laugh, they feel better, hopefully they get laid, and then boom. And it's just like, it's such a great feeling. And I was wondering,
you're doing it for the sex. I'm
always doing everything for
stand up
sex.
for the sex.
Correct. Which I'm actually kind of curious, because you're a comedian. How long have you been doing comedy for, or stand-up comedy?
Stand up for 7 years.
7 years. So in that time of doing stand-up for 7 years, on the topic of like, because this is a sex ed podcast, I'm wondering, have you had any like chuckle fuckers?
Okay, like you. I think that's why you're having me on the podcast.
Oh no, I've been discovered.
But you're very clear about it. You're very obvious about
And,
it.
was I trying to be subtle? Me?
You're, that's the good thing is you're not subtle at all. Listen to the last podcast. You're like, you're like, I was a sugar baby. I was an escort. I'm horny. I'm a pig. Like, I haven't even listened to all your podcasts, but like, I'm pretty sure that those are the theories. Those are the.
My pronouns are cum dump. So.
Exactly. I love the terms cum dumpster, by the way.
Yeah.
That's like my favorite term. Like, I love calling somebody a cum dumpster. I love calling myself a cum dumpster.
I mean, it's a nickname.
It's like my favorite.
Right? It's so like, oh, you know, that cum dumpster over there, dumpster fire.
Yeah, dumpster fire too. And then some top is like, oh, that's not me. I'm not a cum dumpster. And we're like, just
sis.
Who cares? We know you top. Like, you don't have to like, that's one of my pet peeves. Like, you don't have to like remind us every second that you're a top. How insecure are you in your topness? You're still gay. You're a cum dumpster.
Like, girl, it's fine. You're a top. We get it. But you're still a fucking fag like the rest of us with your fan clack and your heels. Like, stop. Who are you trying to...
And whether or not you're fine. You're not a cum dumpster in your butt. You're a cum dumpster in your mouth. Whatever it is.
Yeah, it's fine. Tops are so annoying. But we need them. Circle of life, I guess.
Certain tops that insist on being like, I'm different because I'm a top. are weird.
I'm macho.
Exactly.
Bro.
Oh.
They're the ones that say bro in bed.
Interesting. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that is a little bit much. That's a little bit much.
Right? If you get called a bro or like dude.
Yeah. Even worse when they're like, I don't kiss.
Why the fuck not? Why? I'm so pissed at those tops who are like, I don't kiss on the... Like, what the fuck do you mean you don't kiss? But like, you're willing to eat my ass, but you won't kiss me? What the fuck?
It's only happened to me a couple times with like people who are like, I would say that call themselves bi, but yeah, it's
in quotes.
Weird. But
we all know bi is a stepping stone. No, kidding. Kidding.
And by the way, no, I mean, of course that they some of them really are bi, but it's just like a little, when you don't want to kiss somebody, it makes you think like, do you think that person maybe is just afraid to go there? Like, they're just afraid to take that step.
Yeah, what the fuck? Like, of all the sexual acts, I think kissing is like even less than vanilla, really. It's kind of like a handshake at this point.
Yeah, and it's exciting, and it's important. It's key to the whole experience. I recommend it.
Yeah, 10 out of 10. Important. 10 out of 10.
Yeah. But you asked me something. What did you ask me?
Chuckle fuckers. Do you get some?
Oh, do I get chuckle fuckers? Yeah, definitely. Yes, there's no doubt about it. There's what do you want to know about them?
Like, how has a chuckle fucker like approached you after a show? And have you ever like I guess like, you know, pursued one? Yeah, right after the show.
Oh no, never. I've never had sex with any men that were interested in me. That's it.
Why would I want to have sex with the ones who actually like me?
There's so many. There's too many there's a lot of story. There's a lot of it, I would say, and I'm trying to think of like of when it happens. But I mean, if the guy is cute, like absolute, like generally, like absolutely. I think one of them that comes to mind is really early on in stand up. I performed on a show in Brooklyn. I didn't even do particularly that well in the show, but this guy liked the performance. And he was talking to me afterwards, like glowingly, smiling. He's like, wow, like that, like wow, just with that glint in his eyes. And he was cute. and and so I invited him to get drinks with me because I was lonely, but also,
which is the kind way to say horny. Okay, we get it.
But I was just, I had nothing to do, and I invited him to get drinks.
Bored.
Yeah, and we went to like this arcade bar, and we're like flirting, and we're talking, and and he, good connection, strong connection, and at the bar he said that he was straight, and I was like, what the fuck? Like, I was just like,
damn it.
I was like, I am not. Yeah, I was like, I am not getting that vibe at all. And but we had a good time and all that stuff, and we stayed in touch. I was just like, the way you could tell when someone like looks at you a certain way, when someone is really enamored. Like, straight guys don't generally look at me with that like starry-eyed, like enamored look. They'll be like, hey, that was funny, bro. But they don't generally like hang on in that like connected way.
Yeah,
and so we parted ways and we stayed in touch. And then I think like months later, I asked him to go to a movie, and we went to see that movie with what's that movie with Ryan Gosling? It was really bad, and everyone thought it was good. Hollywood Town or whatever.
Oh,
what? La La Land. La La Land. Yeah. I just called it Hollywood Town. Good for me.
La La Land. It's that movie where it's like how white people explain jazz to black people. Yeah, La La Land.
Yeah, and I didn't see the whole movie, but I wasn't loving it. And we made out during the movie. Okay,
what?
So we made out during the movie. Yeah. So the story continues. We made out during the movie, and it was really hot. And we left in the middle of the movie to go to my house, and hooked up at my house. And, we've stayed in touch ever since. And then after that happened, a couple months later or whatever, it was like, he pops up on Facebook, like, X person is in a relationship with a man. This guy was, so I converted this guy into being gay.
Oh, to the correct side. You converted him to the correct side. That's good.
Exactly.
We always need more gay missionaries out there.
Exactly.
Shout out to Mormon Boys, one of my favorite studios. Are you a fan?
I should watch that. I don't.
Oh
no, I don't. I mean, I don't. That's a little white for me.
True. It is so lacking in melanin, but which porn isn't? Unless it's like
all the porn I watch, Tim. Yeah. I'll tell you. Do you want some porn that has melanin? Just look at my search history.
I will. I'll take you up on that, Keenan. What kind of porn are you into?
Oh, I just opened myself up to that. Oh man. I just opened myself up to that. Wow.
Correct.
Okay, we'll just go ahead and get canceled with this podcast. No problem.
Let's do it. I'm canceled.
Let's do it. I think, like, let's see. There's different porn, but I generally stay in the Latin or Black or Asian section.
I have all over the world. Perfect. I know I have a chance now because I am part Latino and like Asian to become this Filipino mess. Perfect. I got a chance.
Oh yeah, you're a good candidate, definitely for me. Send over your tape. I love a mix.
Tape, my casting couch kind of.
Oh, that would be hot. No, I love those. I love the casting couch, like build up. I like the build up when
the POVs.
I don't. Yeah, unless there's like a weird middle-aged white guy behind the camera that's always saying like, "So you go to the gym?
What is this?
How often do you go?"
Chuck Hunter.
Yeah, or just like, have you ever been with a like the questions that are just like really basic and just like in general, I don't really want to hear that middle-aged white man. It's always like the same sounding guy that like, uh,
Sounds like he's
you
had too
know,
many cigarettes before the recording. Like, oh,
yeah. Anyway, and then he'd like you like just have like his hand or something, or his like mouth without his like. I just that's just weird with mouth without his face. I'm just like without his eyes. It's just weird. But the setup between
yeah.
like two guys on the couch and them like flirting with each other and talking with each other and being like, yeah, never been with a guy. Oh, okay, well, like I'll like get you. I'll we could do something about that. I'll warm you up. Like I like that whole vibe.
So like bait buddies, where
You know the names
uh
of all of it.
I have watched a
The
little too
bait
much
buddies.
porn. Yeah, bait buddies. So the context of bait buddies is that there's one straight guy. Yeah, I say that in quotes for those who can't see. And there's like your gay actor who then kind of like coerces or plays and teases the straight guy, and then they see how far they can push them into doing whatever it is that the cameraman wants them to do.
That
It's
sounds awesome.
just it's so fake because the straight guy is like gay. So the acting as a straight is so bad. But people will eat that shit up with a spoon. Like, oh my god. Same thing with what's that bait bus character?
That sounds like the porn I'm into. Eat that shit with a spoon.
Yeah. Oh, your
No,
dog.
just kidding. Oh yeah, the dogs are going. They're barking at something.
Okay, I thought they were about to start a hump fest. I'm like, I'm jealous.
Ah yeah. They fight with each other. They don't really hump each other, but they fight
Yeah.
with each other.
So I'm still kind of hanging on to that story of you converting a straight guy into the correct orientation, because that is that is so amazing. Have you like was that your first and only like quote unquote straight experience?
I like the way that you make homosexuality like you're like bullying straight people by calling homosexuality correct. You've turned the whole thing upside down
I
by being
assume
like we have
everyone
to
is
do
gay.
like gay
Yeah.
conversion therapy on
Yeah.
homosexuals. That's what you're gonna get
Well,
into.
because when you hear conversion therapy, it's always from gay to straight. What about the other way around, right? Or like I go like walking through the streets assuming everyone is gay until proven straight. So you have to come out to
Okay,
me as straight,
that's a good way to be.
right?
Because
Shoot my shot with anyone.
you're like you seem like a very confident person. Like you seem like
Thank you. It's the therapy working.
and you're just like going around being like attracting that energy of like I'm gay. You probably convert a lot of straight guys, and don't tell me you don't, because I know I can tell the kind of person you are already, or you've
I
done it.
I have, and it was all paid. Thank you very much.
Oh,
Uh,
awesome.
so I have
The
had.
reason I can tell that you are that guy is because you have that positive, accepting energy, and you're literally like this like vibe for a straight man to be like, he's definitely gay. Like, first of all, you're definitely gay. There's no question about it.
I'm trying to
Like, I
hide it with
think,
my red hair and my nail polish and my piercings. I'm trying to.
and
Don't tell anyone, Keenan.
and we know you're horny and thirsty.
Always.
And
I'm dehydrated.
and so you have that positive vibe that like attracts safety for them. That's those are the people who convert. I actually don't convert straight guys that much because I think they see me as like
A threat?
I'm like a little bit intimidating. I'm like a too
Oh.
intimidating. Yeah.
What about you so intimidating? I find you so friendly. Well, also because I want to sleep with you, which is why I find you friendly. But like, what is it about? What is it
That's
about?
that's a good question. Like, what is it about me that's intimidating? I don't know. I think like maybe I'm just brainstorming, but like maybe for the really straight guys or the guys who think they're straight, it's my masculine presentingness that they find that they are not that they're like I and I don't know. There's a lot to unpack there, but I just like that's part of the guess that I have that and it's not that but I use that word. I know that that's not a proper that's a problematic word, to
Mhm.
say in the community. But I'm just, it's that like it's how a lot of people perceive me. So that's the only reason I'm using it. I don't know. I don't know why I can intimidate, but I feel that I have that vibe sometimes.
Yeah, but it's hot.
In all like in all I am friendly. People know that I'm friendly, but I think there's also a somewhat intimidating side of me that I don't fully understand because I don't
Mm.
actually get it because I try to like bring people in a setting and make people feel warm, make people feel welcome. And welcome. If I host a show, it's like I'm like hosting a dinner party. Try to make everyone feel welcoming. I go talk to the crowd. I go sit in the crowd with people. I go even in like I feel like I feel like a very welcoming, warm person, and I
Hmm.
think people would agree with that. But at the same time, there's an intimidating factor that I really don't, I think, understand, and it affects my life.
You know what? I think it's probably the straight guys who are like, this guy's a little too confident. I'm thinking he might steal my girl. And that's probably. But you know what? Honestly, if the world would let us, gay guys are going to steal every single straight girl out there. We're all hot. We're all in shape for whatever reason. And yes, round is a shape. And like, we have better fashion sense. I've never seen a gay guy wear cargo shorts before. So yeah, like blame yourself, straight men, for why you're so ugly and doing the literal least. Not even the bare minimum, but like below the minimum.
But you asked me. You asked me a question. Sorry, you asked me something.
I don't even know anymore.
Oh,
That's fine.
okay, that's
I
fine.
forgot. We can move
I
on to
wanted to
another
answer,
question.
and I went into something else.
No, let me try to remember what I asked you. I think I asked you uh way back in no, I already asked you about the chuckle fucker thing.
Oh,
I
you
asked you
asked
about
me if I had been with if that was the first straight guy that I had been with. He's not
yes
straight anymore,
anymore.
and,
Yeah.
I don't. I think there's been one since then. Again, it happened where yeah. I had sex with a guy who doesn't really sleep with guys very much, or he has a girl. Let me put it this way. Okay, oh God, should I not say? I just said it. I had sex with a guy who has a girlfriend. And that has happened. That happened to me once in my life, and
Hmm.
so that happened. Yeah.
Fun. I mean,
Yes.
I have had sex with how many of my clients who all had wives, but hey, that was their business, not mine. I've had a guy fall in love with me so much that he wrote me in his will when he passed away, and that was
Oh
a very
wow, that's everybody's dream.
it was a very awkward estate settlement thing because I was sitting across the table from the wife and the kids,
Oh
and
my
they were all like,
god.
"Who's
Oh
this?"
my
I'm
god.
like, "I'm just,
Oh my god.
I don't want this," but
That's a
also
great
there's
scene
money.
for a movie and for a TV
I was
show.
thinking the same thing, but I was just like, I want to get out of here as soon as possible. Can I just have whatever he gave to me, or bequeathed to me, and then be on my way? God, it was so awkward. Um,
And did you get the money?
I did. I put it away in like a savings. So I'm like, I'm not gonna touch that until I retire because that is a nice hefty amount of money. And
And oh wow.
yeah, the family was
Like a lot is
pissed.
like, do you? Oh,
10, like there's a comma in there.
nice.
Yeah, so there's one
Nice.
comma in there.
Have you had any interaction with the family where
Nope. Nope.
okay, okay.
They have tried to contact me and I kind of just blocked and then moved on with my life.
What do you think they want from you?
They probably want it back from you. It's like, it's not yours. I'm like, well, he gave it to me. It's in the will. Ugh.
Yeah. And this was his
Yeah.
wife and kids
And
were
his
there, you
kids,
think?
yeah, at the settlement meeting or whatever you call it. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Weird.
Wow. They I mean, if he told them when he was alive, like that would be understandable. But if he
Mhm.
waited till he died to have you show up and be like, I like guys' butts, by the way, that was weird.
Hey,
I like Filipino cock. Then like
hey.
that's like a real fuck you to the family.
True. Listen,
Not that
I am cursed with amazing sexual prowess. It is a burden that I bear, heavier than Jesus and the cross, but I will go around and try to use my gift as responsibly as I can.
that is the best. And please teach me your ways. I
Well,
could
when
always use
some tips.
I could always use some. I mean, I'm good, but I'm not great. Probably, I could use some
Then
tips.
let me get my ass to Mexico, Keenan, and I will show you uh free of charge the best
This is the
several
content that your
hours.
listeners want. The
Yeah,
the the comedy that turns it directly into flirting.
exactly. I
This
mean,
is exactly what
I
they need.
I need to flirt with my guests. Otherwise, what kind of content do I have? I have no personality. I'm just a whore. Uh,
We'll be right back after this commercial break.
Yes.
Hey, you sick motherfuckers! I've got a special treat for you. Need a new toy to spice up your sex life? Head over to loveshop.ca/sexedwithtim and get yourself a cock ring, a dildo, a vibrator, or even a life-sized sex doll. Damn, I guess love really does come in all shapes and sizes. Get 15% off your entire order when you use code SEXEDWITHTIM at checkout. They're shipping to all of Canada and the United States because North America is horny. That's loveshop.ca/sexedwithtim and use code SEXEDWITHTIM for 15% off your entire purchase. Happy orgasm! Do you like feeling sexy and looking sexy? Of course you do. Only my listeners are sexy as fuck. I have partnered with fetishwear designer Dale Kuda to bring you the hottest deals on custom jock straps, harnesses, hats, and more. Head over to dalekuda.com, that's DALEKUDA.com, and use code SEXEDWITHTIM at checkout for 25% off the entire store. Yeah, you heard me. 25% off. And cherry on top, free shipping. Oh my god. I have a few of the stuff that he has made for me, and girl, I'm wearing it right now. I'm wearing like a little jock strap so that I could easily just like slip a little butt plug or dildo every now and then here and there. And I'm on the train. I'm just like, thank you, Dale. That's dalekuda.com with the code SEXEDWITHTIM for 25% off your entire purchase with free shipping. With a deal like that, I swear I could come buckets, honey.
The show is about to begin.
Yes.
Let's turn this back around, back to sex education. I'm wondering, do you remember the first time that you had any sort of sex ed?
Wow, this is a different topic. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, I do. It was middle school. From what I remember, it was middle school, and they showed us the part of it that I remember the most. Oh no, there was one before that. It was fifth grade, and our math teacher was in fifth grade was one of the only. He was the only male teacher on the wing. He was the only male teacher that we had.
Mhm.
So he was a math teacher. So I guess and he was kind of like a macho. He was this like macho guy, Mr. What was it? Howe? I think it was Howe. And we were all, and I guess he was like, he taught us. I remember he was like teaching us about like body parts, and I remember him teaching us about boners or something. But we were in 5th grade, and I really had no idea what was going on. It was like a little bit too early to comprehend like any of this. That was my main thing. Being, like, the only thing I remembered is that he loved like drinking mouthwash right from the bottle. Like that was just like, that's really what I remember about this math teacher. It was like Listerine or and also the fact that he had to teach this was weird because he was just a weird guy who wasn't particularly like warm or helpful or like no, but everyone thought he was kind of like
this is a
awkward
condom.
And like
You need
overly
to
masculine, like overly like distant, like bro man, guy man.
He just
who,
did
like,
not want to be there.
And so there was I didn't get much out of that. And then in middle school, what struck me the most was the slideshow of really they show like up close what STDs look like. And I don't know for the fucking life of me why this was the predominant education that I received in liberal suburban New York City. But I would say the predominant sex ed that I received in my middle school and high school years, or a big part of it, was showing up close images of what STDs look like on somebody. And I don't think this is a good form of sex ed. It's clearly a scare tactic. Although there's an important element to that. Like obviously you want people to understand that these are big risks, but they always did this. And I'm a very queasy person. So there was a time where they showed these images up front, and every time I dreaded every part of this sex ed class because every time it would happen, I would go completely green in the face. Literally, I'd turn a new color. Like later on, people would tell me, "Why are you green?" And when they would show the up close images, I would go into the hallway, and I think I threw up in the hallway once. I threw up in the hallway from this. And a janitor had to clean it up. I didn't even make it to the bathroom is my recollection of this. And I never even could tell anyone that this would always happen. But every time they would show these images and any of the sex ed classes, I would be like, okay, don't go green, don't go green, don't go green. And I would go completely green and had to leave the room. And because they would do it in a way that was not even here's syphilis, but it would be a whole stream of images would be here's syphilis, here's chlamydia, here's gonorrhea, here's AIDS, and whatever. And so they really poured it on.
Oh my God. That is so fucking insane. I mean, you know what?
I've never talked about it before.
Disappointed but not surprised. That's kind of what North American sex ed is always wherever you go. Even up here in Canada, it's fucking gross and outdated. It's ridiculous. But obviously, it doesn't seem like it affected you that much, considering you yourself are an identified cum dump.
Excuse me, my pronouns are cum dumpster.
Cum dumpster, sorry.
Yes.
Piss pig.
No one has ever called me cum dump. I don't respond to cum dump.
Can you tell us about the first time?
And you're right, by the way. My sexual habits and my entire life and my mental state, I'm 100% healthy. I have no problems. That's why I'm a comedian, and I have no body image issues, and I have no issues with
absolutely
STDs,
none.
And I'm Mr. Well-adjusted. I'm
wow.
Whatever, I have no issues.
I don't go to therapy. I am securely attached. I know how to regulate all of my emotions. Yet I'm
not a bottom who pretends to be a top.
Hi, friends. So I'm really glad that you made it this far into the episode, and I'm sure that you're having a wonderful time. Unfortunately, what happened during the first time we recorded was that, the recording software basically cut off Keenan's entire vocal track, and I don't know what the fuck happened there. So we had to record, or rather re-record, part 2, and I figured, you know what, I'm just gonna keep whatever I got from part 1 and then include part 2 in here because he's really funny and I had so much fun recording with him. And yeah, I hope that you're enjoying the show so far. Make it all the way to the very end because we love you. And I hope you love us back. So with that said, let's get on with the show. How have you been? It's been a while since we last spoke.
Well, I have a new couch.
Fun.
And I have been living in Mexico. I think we probably spoke like 5 months-ish ago or
something like that. Yeah.
I've been living in Mexico City. I've been doing stand-up comedy in Mexico. I've been doing stand-up comedy in Mexico City and in Puerto Vallarta. Just came back from Puerto Vallarta where I did my show in English for a month. In Mexico City, I do shows in Spanish and in English. Mm-hmm. Last night I had a show in English and then a show in Spanish. So people, it's who else is doing that is what I want to say.
Right.
Anyone else? Everyone's doing that, right? And what else can I tell you? I did other things, but the new year happened for all of us. We had a new year. I went to New York and did my show in my hour in New York at the end of December, and I'm really proud of how that turned out in Manhattan. The first time I ever did my stand-up comedy hour special information in Manhattan, New York.
Oh my God!
Where I'm kind of from.
Congratulations! Where can I see the special?
Break it. What? Oh, it's not Noel. It's building towards what I want to create. It's my stand-up hour that has not I'd like to make into a special soon.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh my God! I want to be the first one to see it.
Hell yeah!
I would
love that. Yeah. I'll record it, and as soon as we're done, so we have to get it to Tim from Sex Ed with Tim, and they're going to be like, "No, it's not ready yet. It still needs to be edited." I'm like, "No, I don't care. I told Tim he'd be the first. He needs to see it raw."
As like everything else I do in life, raw dogging it. Speaking of raw, exactly. I literally just came home last night at 5 a.m. after my first date with a doctor. And yeah, it was great. And because of the snowstorm, I had no choice but to stay over at his place.
So, convenient.
I know, isn't it? It was so romantic. Convenient. It was like a huge blizzard and thunder was coming down, wind was gusting, and then it's just two of us in his apartment.
You do seem really happy and centered, I think. But
it's just because I just got fucked.
Yeah.
That's why.
That's really nice.
Am I not usually happy and centered? Or am I?
Well, I've only met you once before, but you seem centered, like more centered than before.
More? Oh, well, thank you. It's all the Xanax and clonazepam that I got prescribed, so.
Oh, yeah. I take that stuff too. I have more anxiety recently, and so I went back and took the Boost Bar or whatever it's called yesterday. So I have that there in case I need it.
That sounds like a cocktail.
I'm like, should I do it? Oh yeah.
Boost Bar?
I'm telling the world this. I don't know. I don't want them to know about my anxiety medication. No, it doesn't matter. So you did the doctor.
Yeah.
He did you, rather.
We did both.
We did each other?
Yeah.
Cool.
It's pretty fun.
What is his name, first, middle, and last?
And his social security number and his address.
Is he a good doctor? What kind of doctor he is?
Is he a good doctor?
I might have some issues.
So he says he's a doctor, but I don't know if he never claimed to be a good doctor, like how I don't claim to be a good sex educator.
Oh my God.
We just have the credentials for it. But when we first met on our date...
How do you get work without claiming to be a good sex educator?
People just listen to the garbage I put out on Spotify.
Oh my
and
God.
Apple.
You're like a public person who's John's sex educator and you're doing a podcast.
Yeah.
I do garbage.
Like, I hope you all know
I just
the
spew
brand.
garbage.
Absolute basura.
The best way to have sex is to meet a guy, get fucked, never get his number.
His name, not his name, not his face.
Get completely emotional and vulnerable with him from the start. And that's the best thing to do. And tell him all about your exes and all about your problems and all your red flags up front. so that he knows. And then you'll get every guy.
Listen, that's the hottest thing about a guy is when he unpacks all of his trauma and I can be his daddy figure. The one that was never there in his childhood. No, so the doctor that I slept with, he first described himself in the best way possible. You know the show House?
Yeah, I mean, yes. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
That guy was good, yeah.
So House's job isn't like an actual job, but that's the closest thing that he can describe it to, where he like looks at rare diseases and like diagnoses them.
Damn,
So,
that's like an exciting doctor.
Oh yeah.
Keep this guy. This is not a normal doctor.
I mean, I just got over being dumped, Keenan. Like it's kind of hard. I know. The guy actually dumped me right like a week after my birthday, so that's fun. I'm telling this on the show.
That's the worst. That's sensitive.
I know.
That's the worst.
And he dumped me over text.
How long were you with him?
Well, 4 months, which is like 8 years in gay time, right? So.
When's your birthday?
January 25.
Yeah, so you're still in the period where you have to get over it. It takes a while sometimes, depending.
So the only way I'm getting over it is to get under another guy, right? So.
Yeah.
That's the fun part of it.
Yeah. How are you doing? How are you holding up?
It could be better, but you know what? And I'll get to a place where I'm like, all right, fuck you. I'm on to the next one, and I kind of am. I have another date set up for tomorrow, so that'll be fun. It's a guy that works in government.
Yeah. I have a birthday tomorrow, and it's my birthday tomorrow.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Happy birthday! Well, this is gonna come out at the end
you.
of March, so to everybody that's listening, happy belated birthday to Keenan. But wow, feliz cumpleaños!
Thank you so much. So it's my birthday. So I hope I don't get dumped a week after my birthday.
No. Oh, are you seeing someone?
But no, not really. I'm seeing somebody. There's someone that I'm interested in, but we're not boyfriends. And so I guess it's like a no and a yes. It gets like it's in that zone.
You never know with gay people. It's like, are we a thing? Are we not a thing? We just fucking what?
You know,
so hard to define.
Well, you know, because we don't live in the same place either, so it's kind of like, okay, let's just take a pause. We care about each other, but we care about each other.
Right. That's cool.
We saw each other recently, but but he could still dump me in a week by being like, you know, this talking to each other and caring about each other needs to stop.
Oh my God.
So I could, you know, that, but, and he's already, I knew him a couple years ago, and he kind of like half dumped me once already. Yeah. So I cannot be half dumped again. So I'm not, you know.
What's a half dump?
Like you're seeing somebody and they're like, and I'm really like them, and then they're like, yeah, I can't.
Oh, okay.
But like we were never going out, but they were just like they changed their mind about continuing with the situation.
Because the half dump sounds like you push a little bit of shit out and then flush.
All right, Tim. All right. You know, we were actually getting somewhere in this podcast positively. We were moving in a positive direction, comedically, and you know, I was smiling, and you just
a shit
went
joke
in a really weird way.
Did I say I was classy and educated?
No, you're not. No, you're not. But I mean, if you're going to go there, yes, we've all also had half dumps where it's like, why can't it all not get out? But that's not like being half dumped by a guy.
No, it's not.
Because a half dumped by a guy, really, things are really, it never really happened. Everything was cut off, and you were like, well, I wish I took a whole shit. And you never even could take the whole shit.
Gotta force it all out. Sorry. You gotta go with the lowbrow jokes for the lowbrow audience. Do you think that like the guys that we date, we should tell them that we're comedians and like if you do something shitty, we're gonna tell the world about it because this is gonna be comedy fodder.
No, I don't. I don't want them to know because having to date a comedian. Well, first of all, the guy that I'm seeing right now, I did tell a joke about him the other day. This guy that I did a joke about him the other day, like, and I told him, but he's in the arts, so he was like was fine with it.
Okay.
But in general, I think guys, they don't want to date me like because I'm a comedian, and they don't want to.
Is that so? Like they don't want to date you because you're a comedian? Are they scared?
At least that's what I tell myself about why they're not dating me. Sure. But I think it is. I think people think many things happen. One, people will say, "Are you gonna use this in your comedy?" Like, you can't be recording this. Are you recording this for your comedy? Are you gonna take notes? If I'm giving you this for free, I'm not giving you for free. I'm not giving you free material. I'm not gonna give you all this for free. And those are the guys who are lame because they haven't said anything interesting and they think that they're saying everything funny. Whether it's like, that could be a romantic interest or anyone in life. That
right.
You say you're a comedian, they're like, oh, I'm giving you free material. I'm like,
you're not that
no,
interesting.
you're gay. I don't know. I think there's something about, I really don't know. That's why I keep saying I don't know, because I'm trying to articulate it. Maybe it's too early in the morning, but something about being like the funny one is not necessarily, I think, what everybody wants. In a relationship.
You know what? I kind of agree. Like, there's this sort of false perception of being the funny guy, right? And I'm also having trouble articulating what it is, but it's like, we're not gonna exactly feed off of you. We're actually more creative than what you think we are. That's what I think.
Like that's I really like it when a guy is funny, like a guy I'm with is funny, and that gets my sense of humor and makes me laugh. If we're transitioning to what I want in a man, that is so key. Someone who's like, who really gets humor and whatnot, and I think when people are kind of like, I don't match with someone when that's not the case. When they're like, they're kind of not funny at all. It's kind of like, golly, like, like you're not getting the humor.
Right. How would you describe your sense of humor versus the sense of humor that you expect from other guys to like turn you on?
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, I'll talk about the guy. The guy that I'm seeing now is it works because it's like, well, he sings and is like makes funny raps and funny songs, and I'm not good at that. Like, and he'll just come up with it on the spot, and then I can like feed into his song with lines, and I'm like, this is so fun. So it's like a new talents that I don't have, and so like if someone someone can have that kind of new talent, and then like this person like farts constantly, and that like loosens things up for me, like not literally, but it loosens things up for me.
I was about to say.
And like, yeah, and like I think then the other side of it is like, I think so it lets me be like gross because I'm not as gross as him, and I'm kind of gross. Like, I just cleaned my apartment today for the first time in weeks. Like,
congratulations.
I behave like a straight man. Like, Queer Eye, someone should nominate me for Queer Eye.
Queer Eye?
Because I need it. But like, so if someone is sometimes more gross than me, I'm like, that was fun. If someone's asking me questions like about my thoughts, because I'll say something funny and sometimes they'll really laugh, but sometimes they won't get it. But if they're just going to ask questions and like prod more, it's their curiosity, and then it gets to even like a funnier place.
Right? You kind of just riff and just make fun of whatever thought comes into your head.
Someone who can riff would be outstanding. This guy has a performance background, so it's awesome. Most people, they can't really riff. But no, I wouldn't say most people can't riff. I would say half the people cannot riff.
The people that you meet? Or
at least half the people can't riff. Like, really? Because to riff, you have to be an open person. You have to be open and you have to build, like improv. Mm-hmm. Like you can't be like, take a line to try to be funny. You have to build it.
Yeah. You got to be quick on your feet as well, because like comedy's in the moment.
It's in the moment, but sometimes I'm slower. Like sometimes I take a while, but like, it's true. Sometimes the moment's passed, but sometimes it's just like paying attention. It's just being in the moment and paying attention, rather. Yeah. And like being present and listening to somebody. That's the key to improv.
Right. So you're turned on by his ability to improv and like riff and everything. How do you describe your comedy to people who have never heard of you or seen any of your sets?
Oh, cool. Good question. I guess the word that comes to mind that I've used since the beginning is refreshing. Like it's not what you think it's going to be. I'm definitely like on the side of like, not, this sounds weird to say about yourself, but I'm on the like, I can be like endearing to a crowd, I feel like. So again, that sounds, I hate saying that about myself. You don't want to, it's, you know, you don't like, you don't enjoy, trust me, I don't enjoy saying that, but
It's ego masturbation.
yeah, I don't like it, and maybe it's not even true. I don't know, but anyway, aside from that, it's like it's refreshing, a little surprising. I'm definitely like it comes at you a little bit. Like I think it's a New York style. Like we're gonna come at you with jokes, and the point is to make you really laugh. Sometimes I'm kind of quite animated, and that's a terrible description of my comedy. It's so bad because it's really so bad the way I just described my comedy.
Better in person.
I'm an elevated version of myself on stage.
Yeah.
The person you're getting now is who you're getting on stage, but it's elevated and with jokes. And a lot of my comedy, a good percentage is based on it's my real life experience that I then something that really happened to me that I spin into comedy. So something that happened to me that might have been a little funny, but then I'll like turn it into, I'll really heighten it. So everything is really kind of based in reality. And I am trying to make you, I mean, even though it's all funny, I would be lying if I said, I am trying to make people kind of think and open their minds a little bit in a different way.
Ah.
You know? So, I mean, just
cool.
talking about the gay stuff and the sex stuff, I have a lot of jokes about my gay identity, and a lot of them are really, they're meant to be for everybody. They're not meant to just be for LGBTQ folks. It's meant to be like, and this would be because, especially when I started 7-8 years ago, your crowds are everybody. Your crowd is not a gay crowd in New York. So it's like, I'm going to tell a joke about being gay or about something that may allude to gay sex, but it's like, I want you to understand it, straight guy or straight woman, so that you're like, in the beginning, it was like, so you're like, oh, we relate to him.
Right.
We relate to him. It's like
You want your
kind of
material to be
relatability.
like universally relatable, so it's not just one concentrated audience. You want everybody to laugh, and I think that's what we all want as entertainers, as comedians. We want everybody. We want our material to reach as wide an audience as possible. We're like chlamydia.
Yeah. And then
without the burning sensation.
Things change. Then you'll do a show that's more for gay audiences, and then like my set will change a little bit. So you have to sort of you're always adapting depending on the audience.
Mm-hmm. How was your last set? Was it good?
Not really.
Oh no.
Well, I'm here in Mexico, and sometimes the room is. Well, my last set was good. Let me not start at the negative. The last set was in Spanish. And I haven't done stand-up in Spanish in a minute. And so I was a little worried, but I went in and I did like almost 15 minutes. And the laughs were, I really had the room, it was a small room, and the laughs were like consistent the whole time. So that was better than I could have imagined. I ended up riffing with the crowd about how it's easier to, I have kind of working on a new joke about how it's easier to find a girlfriend than it is to find a good girlfriend than it is to find a good gay boyfriend, because, and it's kind of, the premise is like, I used to actually date women, and the women that I dated were fantastic. They were great people. Mm-hmm. And I've been out of the closet for 11 years, and I think I've had maybe one good boyfriend, maybe. And so the joke is about how, and then I ended up talking to the whole crowd about that, and the first time that I've ever done it in Spanish, but about how the standards are harder for gay men than it is for a man who wants to get with a woman.
Yeah.
That man has it easier. He just has to be. Anyway, it's a joke. It's a whole thing. But you're great. You're a man. You're a man who's nice. You're a man who's nice. So yeah.
No, I get it. My best friend, she's like this bisexual woman, and whenever we're out together, people always assume we're married. Like
Okay.
we're like, is that really the sign of like a true Will and Grace kind of relationship, where you got like the really flaming homo and then like the somewhat butchy dykey kind of lesbian? She's also a lawyer, so like, she's always around like suits and everything, and people always assume that we're married or boyfriend and girlfriend, and we're like,
Really?
should we just play into it? Should we just pretend and like get benefits out of this? Co-sign on a mortgage?
Why do you think people assume you're together? Because you look, I feel like, well, I guess you could, I haven't seen you in full 3D, but I guess you could pass for a straight guy.
My other best friend has told me that I am, in his words, the straightest gay guy he's ever seen.
Oh.
I mean, whatever that means. I like,
Occasionally I get that comment. I used to get it a lot more, but I guess
Right.
So that's what this conversation is, the straight passing gays.
the mask.
Talking on the on the podcast. Some people, when I say that, they like laugh. They're like, "Oh, I knew you were gay from the cruise boat. I knew you were gay from the Princess Cruise." I don't know. I'm imitating a gay man, but that's not. It's really more like an old woman. I knew you were gay. You think you're straight passing? And these people freak out. Like, how dare you, man, Keenan, think that you pass as straight? You're so cocky. And I'm like, you're going a little nuts there. I think, you have the issues. I don't think it's just what people, it's like what people say. It happens occasionally. I'm not like making it up. It's not, I don't really care. I don't really give a shit either way. Like, do you think I'm saying this because I'm trying to impress your stupid ass in your stupid polo shirt and tight shorts and your neat haircut? You look the same as the other white boat shoe wearing Fire Island monsters.
Oh my god. Oh, please, Fire Island. That's such a trigger phrase for me. Fuck that place. But also, I guess
I've never been there, and I would like
expensive.
someone to take me, including if you're the monster that I just talked about. Please take me. If you're white, but if you are white and rich,
That'd be great.
you'll never like me, so it doesn't matter, and that's fine. White rich guys, I haven't got a single like on Tinder if I'm a white rich guy ever in my life.
But they're your
Or
ticket.
a white
to
successful
Fire Island.
guy.
But they're your
They
ticket
don't,
to Fire
they don't
Island.
like
though.
me. I'm too gritty for them, or too.
No.
I'm not Mayflower white enough for them.
You can always hang out at Wall Street and see who is like, kind of eyeing you.
Good idea, Tim. Oh, hi, I just got to New York. How do I get to Wall Street? I want to hang out to meet a man. Oh, have you ever been to New York, Tim? Let me just
Multiple
go to Wall Street
times.
and look around.
I've been to New York multiple times and I still
I
have
don't
no
even
idea.
think
what
anyone's
New York
there
is.
anymore. They're working
No.
from behind their computer. I don't
That's
think
true.
Let me go to the New York Stock Exchange to meet a man. Does anyone have any ticker tape? It's a recession. Everything's falling. I don't know.
Where is
But,
this accent coming from? You're like a
I don't know.
1920s
It's
transatlantic.
the 1920s. Well, because I was thinking of the recession when the stock market fell in 1929, and then I started thinking of Wall Street, where people actually were there, and there was ticker tape falling everywhere, and people jumping out of windows because all their stocks went to zero and their life was ruined. So that's where I was trying to meet a man, and I might have been able to meet a man at that time in my life, because then you probably could just like wink at guys and just try to put a handkerchief in your back pocket, and then you fucked under the Fulton Fish Market.
It happens here too in the financial district here in Toronto. There's like literally one bathroom in this financial district where all the suit bros, they just come in and cruise. It's kind of hot.
Okay, I thought you said soup bros, and I was like, okay, these are soup bros. They love a lobster bisque.
They love their cream of mushroom. Yeah.
And
The French onion. No, suit.
Soup bros.
I wouldn't be surprised if that was a
they're out there having
subcategory.
a hearty minestrone. they're not this soup pansy having a cream of carrot. They only do
it's
a
a
potato
mask.
minestrone. I'm a soup bro.
Bro. Yeah, bro. I
What is
settled
that?
for what is it, Dr. Utker, and nothing else.
I'm gonna ignore that because I don't know who that is, Dr. Utker. But
Oh God,
that's
that must be a
great
Canadian brand of soup, tomato soup. I have no idea.
Oh,
But anyways, what I was trying
it's
to
not
get
broy
at
enough for me.
no was I was trying to get at is
Oh,
that there's,
Campbell's. Tastes like water.
there you go. That's a
Tastes
universal.
like water mixed with just bean water. Who needs anything more? I went camping with Campbell's. Soupbros.com.
You may have just pitched a new brand of soup for the masculine men out there.
Definitely.
Can you believe?
But anyway, I wanted to say the Suit Bros go down there. They have a thing in Mexico called the Última Vagón. Do you have
Okay.
any idea what that could be?
The last something. I don't know.
Vagón.
Wagon.
Wagon.
Okay. The last wagon.
Do you have any idea what this might be?
The last wagon. That sounds like a bar?
Okay, that would be a fun name for a bar.
Yeah.
Any other
right?
guesses? It is gay. It is homo related.
So a bathhouse?
You're getting there.
I'm getting there. Okay, what is it?
What has wagons? What has wagons?
What has wagons? Like I don't know, a train?
Yes!
Oh!
Ding, ding, ding.
Wait.
You got it.
What? So
So
tell
the
me more.
last wagon, what do you think? It's infamous in Mexico City. Why do you think, if we're talking about gay topics?
Oh my God.
Gay-related.
Oh geez. I don't know. Are you
What do
guys
you think
fucking
goes on in there?
trains? Are you
What?
running a train? Not running
Running
a
a
train.
train?
Running a train as in like penis ass, penis ass, penis ass.
That's absolutely what it should be. It's not the actual subway. It's just like a train of penis, dick and ass, dick and ass, dick and ass. Or that's what they do on the train. If you want to go to the last wagon on the train, the last train car, that's
caboose.
what's happening in there.
You got to get to the caboose.
No one wants to actually touch each other. They just want to stand there in a line. No, it's like hanky panky in the last train ride. So if you want to like get a little dirty or like look at somebody, you can touch them under their pants or whatever. You go to the última vagón, and you can just get, it's just got the reputation where you can hook up with people.
That's
And
hot.
so it is kind of like a bathhouse on a train or whatever, I guess. I've never
Is
done
it?
it, but it's a thing here in Mexico City.
Oh my God. How come you've never been? That sounds totally up your alley.
Well, that was an insult, Tim. That sounds totally up your alley, having sex with a homeless, smelly man who can't get a guy.
I didn't mean to say it like that.
I mean, what do you know about up my alley? You think I'm going to dark rooms all the time?
You could be.
Yeah. Well, now you are right. You are right. No, I'm not always like that at all. But like I guess I'm just imagining. I don't know. Like I used to like that kind of. I used to would have maybe liked that stuff. I guess it doesn't appeal to me that much, to be honest with you.
No.
And maybe I'm a little, I mean, I go and I do experiences like sexually. I take experiences and I think I'm adventurous.
Mhm.
But that one, I've never gone over the top nuts for it. Maybe one day. Maybe I'm a little chicken about it.
Aw.
What am I gonna do? Like touch his dick? I have a dick. You have a dick. Let's touch. Let's. I mean, what gives a fuck? I know what a dick is. I'm 37. I've been around a lot of dicks now. I don't have a. You want me to get? I don't know. It doesn't-
We've seen enough.
It doesn't drive me nuts anymore.
Yeah, we've seen
Now,
enough.
if I am like this. If I am on the train and I see a guy just in and I think the guy's really hot, I will make eyes with him and I will follow him home. I'm just kidding, but I will. I will like be. I feel like I will. If he gets off, I will be like, oh, it's my stop too, and like just like be like, oh, I love. Oh my God, we were on the same. Like,
Oh my
do you know how to
God,
get here?
what?
I'm trying to find, Wall Street or whatever. Do you know how to get there? Oh my God, I love your hat. And then it might turn into a conversation. And if he walks away, I'm like, oh fuck, he was straight, or he thought I was a creep. But sometimes I'll flirt with. I am really turned on by like actual old school flirting.
Old school flirting, as in like batting your eyelashes and
like making eye contact.
Yeah.
From afar.
Oh my God, isn't that just basic human interaction that like a lot of people like are just so anxious about now? Eye contact? No.
Probably.
Ooh. God, no, that makes me nervous when people look at me on the subway. I'm like, please don't perceive me at all.
Well, I mean, you can't be creepy about it. There's ways to do it, and I think I really look at people, and I don't realize because I don't see myself doing it. But I think I really aggressively look at people. And I don't think it's aggressive, but I think I am sort of by my nature aggressive. And
you don't seem that aggressive to me.
Oh, that's good. Thank you. I just think that I'm a lot. And I think like when I want something, it's like, no, like I'm kidding. Okay. But when I want something, it's like, no, like, because I feel like I'm not the most subtle guy in the world by any stretch of the fucking imagination. I am not the guy that I'm seeing now. He goes, there's nothing dainty about you. It's like, you're getting what you get usually. And I don't know subtlety. And subtlety is like, well, if I was subtle, then they might miss the point.
Yeah. Subtlety's not our language.
So I'm not, you do have to get good at it. But anyway, I think I will stare. Boy, I'm going off on this podcast, Tim.
Do it.
I'm just talking forever.
Do it.
Like, whatever.
I don't mind.
What's the actual structure of this podcast? Do we have
no
Do we have any
structure.
questions that need to be answered? I
Nope.
don't know. No structure. Good.
I'm high. I'm stuck in snow. I have I have all the time in the world.
Is this going to be a video?
No, it's all audio. I do not have money for video editing. Oh my God, can you imagine?
Oh, it'd be fun if it was. I thought the whole time it was video, so I was focused on I cared about my appearance and everything.
Oh, you're so sweet. I
got
don't
a
care about
haircut
my
for this.
appearance.
I shaved my pubes for this podcast.
Well, I can see your pubes, but the listeners won't be able to see it. So, guys, it's
really?
clean. It's nice and shaven. It looks like a brand new baby giraffe. It looks great.
Wow, that's very kind to call it a baby giraffe.
Because
That's
I figured
excellent.
what could be the longest kind of. I'm not even gonna.
That's so nice. Wow. I wish
You're
someone
very
would look at it and be like, "That's really a baby giraffe." That would be fun.
I once heard a guy call an erect penis that was so big it looks like a baby arm holding an apple. And that changed me as a person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would also change me as a person. I would be thinking about that for a long time and wistfully
just like staring out
jerking off to it for a month.
You're staring out onto the train and just like a baby arm holding an apple. Man, what a world. So, can I ask how you met this guy? Was it online or in person?
Oh my God.
Because I feel like a lot of gay guys have been meeting online, and those don't really last that long, as evidenced by my last relationship.
This guy I met down in Mexico and down in Puerto Vallarta, I had seen him on Grindr, and then I saw him in person at a bar. And I recognized him from Grindr because I had said hello on Grindr, and then I started talking to him in person.
Okay.
I guess that's kind of a half-half situation.
And how long have you guys been together? I need help.
No, we're not together.
Or interacting.
I met him 2.5 years ago, and I can't believe this is a conversation about this person. I hope this conversation burns if this relationship doesn't work out. I hope this whole podcast burns. But
curse my show.
I met him, and we sort of started talking again recently. We met 2.5 years ago. We spent about a week getting to know each other in Mexico. It was magical. And then now here we've sort of been talking again.
Oh, I want that. 2.5 years. My longest.
You want what? It was nothing.
I want something.
We haven't been. We're not together. We're just.
I know, but I want
you
something.
Trust me. You don't want what I have. Trust me. I'm not in a relationship, and this is somebody that I care about. Is there a huge dick behind you?
Is it the first time you're noticing this?
Yes. It's
yeah.
A huge.
I actually have two.
It's like a stuffed animal dick.
Yeah, it is.
Really,
it's a body pillow.
There's a drawing of a really hot man.
Yeah,
that's a dick body pillow. It reminds me like right out of the show Big Mouth, like one of the dicks that fly for
from the Hormone Monster.
Morty's dicks.
Yep. Yeah. So that's a body pillow. This one is Jackson, as in like Jax on. Yeah. And then lying down there is like another big white dick whose name is Richard. Dick for short.
Okay. I don't see the white dick.
Oh, yeah, he's out of frame. But the painting that you see is from my good friend. His name is Kirby, and he's a watercolor artist, and that's a guy tied up in rope, and then his dick is being pulled. So, yeah, good stuff.
Oh, his dick is being pulled backwards towards his body?
No, pulled like towards the. It's kind of like from a first person perspective. Like, so there's a hand.
I can't see anything on his dick other than.
Oh yeah, no, there's a hand that's pulling his dick towards us. Yeah.
Oh, cool. I didn't. Okay. Well, I can tell it's a really good drawing.
It's
great. I can tell that the dick, the stuffed animal dick, is absolutely enormous. It's literally 5 feet tall.
Yeah, it's modeled after me. After mine. Whenever people when guys on Grindr, they ask me, "Can I see how big your dick is?" This one right here, 5 feet.
The stuffed animal. They're like, "Why is it so that color of red?"
I literally just had a guy message me on Grindr while I was on my date, just like with the question, "Smooth hole?" Like,
yeah.
Can I at least get a hello, please?
Smooth. I mean, it's very specific.
Yeah.
Like, not even are you a bottom, just right into
there.
Does your profile say you're a bottom?
My profile says I'm versatile.
Versatile.
Yeah.
And then he just
went smooth hole. Also,
that's someone who wants something really specific.
Right.
I always feel like.
And I'm not gonna begrudge anyone
because it's like for me, the people who go in and they want to know like smooth hole or whatever, something like that. And fair enough, I guess. Fair enough. I'm not gonna. But for me, it's like I want to know first. Like, I want to know like, is this person attractive? Is this person someone I want to have sex with? Do they turn me on? I honestly like. Can they hold a conversation a little bit? Like, are they cute? And then it's like, okay. What's their hole like? I think other people like, and I want to know, but other people I think will go the reverse way, and I'm like, I don't want a smooth hole on a
busted face.
Yeah, I don't know. Just for me, it's like I think Grindr has become has gotten more like that, and I guess that's okay. But then there's that new app called like Sniffies or something. I think Smooth Hole might be more for Sniffies.
Sniffies. It's not even an app. It's like a website.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, right. It's like
no. I guess it's fine. I just don't need it. Okay, anyway.
No, I just wanted to be greeted.
What I'm trying to say is Smooth Hole and Hairy Hole are okay with me. Just have a nice face.
Smooth and hairy and anything in between. Stubbly, drooping a little.
Yeah.
This is an equal opportunity
hole. As long as your hole doesn't hurt me, I'm probably okay with your hole. There's not many holes I've seen where I'm like, no, I can't.
What kind of a hole would hurt? Like if it has teeth?
No, like let's say there was stubble there, like you said, and maybe it was like chafing against you because it was like, you know, when you're kissing somebody and it hurts.
I like that
because they're stubbly.
I kind of like that. Personally, for me, yeah, I love a good stubble. What I didn't like,
you never felt like this is going to give me a rash.
I like the friction of it. I guess that's just me.
I like some stubble is good, but you've never had bad stubble to hook up with.
Hurt? Yeah, no, I've had some guys who have shaved all like very poorly, and Yeah,
Yeah.
it's caused a little bit of itching right afterwards. No, but I get it. I love a nice, smooth hole, a hairy hole, a hole that's bleached. If you want.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I've been with bleached holes. I've never asked.
I also don't know how to get your hole bleached. Like, do they just put a crust white strip on that? Or, like, I don't know.
I don't think so.
No?
I think you go to a special woman who puts bleach on a strip and then rips it off. Is that bleach? I'm guessing
Just
that's
rips off the
bleaching is.
color off your anus. Just
Because I don't think you're like, your anus is gonna soak in a little bowl of bleach. That seems weird. Like you have to like bend or like just squat and then you're just like letting it. I don't think that's gonna be effective.
No.
So how would you bleach a hole? I guess you would.
It's chemical bleach.
Like, how does the bleach stay? How do you bleach something that actually stays?
Do you load up a
To make
douche
it
with
would have to be. It would have to become the color. I don't know how that works.
Yeah, because you have to color match it too, like Sephora. You have to.
Oh,
You have to pick a shade. Make sure everything looks like your foundation is matching your skin tone.
well, you don't have to. I guess. Like recently,
No.
I was with a guy who was pretty light skin color, and the dick was dark,
Oh,
and it was like a. It was kind of like a
pick your own adventure.
nice
Contrast.
bonus for me. I was like, I thought I was getting this one thing, and then he's got another trick up his sleeve down there. I didn't know that was coming.
I love it when I connect with a guy and we don't even like share dick pics, but we're connecting intellectually, and then the moment we get into bed, and I'm like, that is a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be. That's happened so many times, and also
Yeah,
I'm
that's
not.
fun.
I'm
I
not
like a
huge
surprise.
size- Yeah, right. I'm also like not a huge size guy, but like it's always nice when I get pleasantly surprised by it. It's always the
better
twinks.
surprised than disappointed. A guy the other day that, and he's in the art. He's a photographer, so he might have done this. I believe he edited his dick to make it look bigger in the photos, significantly bigger. Because when we hooked up, it was not like that.
No.
And it was nice. We had a good time. But that was the first, I was like, yeah, that's what he did. And I don't even care anymore. I'm like, I think we're in a post-accurate dick era. We've reached a post-accurate dick pic moment. I think a couple years ago, I think even up until recently, I was like, I don't send my dick around to everybody, and like everyone wants a dick, and now I'm like, the amount of people I talk to that are like, I just find a dick online, send a dick, because otherwise you guys want to see any dick, and I'm like, all right, I don't have to care anymore. I'm just gonna send a dick. That doesn't matter whose dick it is.
Oh my god, I love that. That's so sexually mature, I think is the word.
Really?
I think so. Like you just don't care anymore. Dick is dick.
Yeah.
I'm over it.
I care about a dick, but like I'm not mad at him for what he did, because I'm like, I guess he just wants to get a guy that's cute, and he knows that we're just in a fucked up world now. Where like when something becomes acceptable within a new culture, it just stays that way. And I think like whoever at some point started, like when Grindr started, and then the Grindr culture develops, and then people always want a dick, and then someone is like, I don't care, I'm just gonna send like any old dick, and other people start doing that. It just becomes like maybe an acceptable thing. And it's news to somebody like out of that world, and news to my naive ass.
You're not
I'm
that
like,
naive.
people are doing that. I think probably many years ago I would have been like, well, that's not right.
The times are changing, Keenan. I feel like I'm the moment I hit 30 a few months ago is when all the 19, 20-year-olds were hitting me up and started calling me daddy.
Yeah.
And I was like, did something just shift in the world? Like just
Yeah.
the second digit
Yeah.
just. Oof.
It's weird how it just
Ooh.
like shifts like that. Yeah, for me it was like that at
Mhm.
at that age also, where the kind of guys that I could get shifted all of a sudden.
Right. Do you have any
Um,
advice for this new 30-year-old that's getting into his 30s?
Okay, well, depends like what would your like issues be before I give you the
I
advice?
just
Like
want
what?
to get a fucking partner who will, like, not dump me over text and, treat me like a decent person. How about that? Basic
Uh,
decency.
I haven't been in many relationships in my life, many gay relationships. A couple boyfriends in 11 years,
Hmm.
and neither lasted a year. Like I'm not the good person to ask, but I have learned some things. So I think valuing yourself is really important, and so people know from the beginning that you deserve a lot of respect.
Mm.
And like, were there signs that he was
Disinterested?
disrespecting you from the beginning?
Nope. Not one bit. So it was a total
Okay.
blindside.
That's a lot. He didn't give you a sign that he wanted to maybe break up and stuff.
Nope. Nothing at all.
I mean, and then what the hell did this text say?
What did he say? He's like, "Hey Tim, I don't think this is working out. I'm sorry."
I mean, he sounds like really, really
Avoidant.
I don't like that behavior. Like that's pretty immature and pathetic.
At his ripe old age of 47 years old, yeah.
And so maybe it comes down to the guys you are picking.
My fault.
But
I'm the
who-
villain.
Who
I'm the
is this
drama.
man? Like, was he supporting you? Was he sexy? Was he?
Yeah. He was doing everything.
There for you?
Yeah. Exactly. Everything. He was
Interesting.
like supportive. He was like, and the sex was great. Communication was awesome. And then just one day, out of nowhere, just texted, "Hey, I don't think this is working out. I'm sorry, Tim." And I'm like, where the
Did
fuck
you
is this
respond?
coming from? I said, "Can we talk?" And then he left me on red.
Yeah, maybe he's going through some weird shit right now.
Yeah.
Not to defend anybody. Maybe he's going through some weird shit right now. That is really hard and bizarre because
Right?
that's very abrupt. You've put 4 months into into investing in
Yeah.
this relationship. Like I would go batshit crazy if that happened to me.
That's your
Like
advice for me.
just
Just go
over
batshit.
text because did you like him? Do you love him?
Yeah.
Did you?
We didn't even call each other boyfriends. We were partners.
Wow. Yeah, you cannot break up with a partner over text.
Yeah.
And something is going on with this guy,
Yeah.
and it's certainly not you. If there were no warning signs and stuff,
Nothing
and
at
there
all.
was him not talking about it, and he just abruptly left like that, he's not able. He's really bad at this. Like something may have been building up with him, and he couldn't bring it up or talk about it because definitely something that is important, like even early on in the relationship, is to probably like talk things out and like talk out a disagreement or a discomfort. Like,
Well, here's the thing.
yeah.
We were supposed to meet up for drinks the Wednesday after. So my birthday was on a Tuesday, and then we were supposed to meet up for drinks the following Wednesday, and then we were supposed to have a conversation to be like, "Hey, I just want to make sure we're on the same page," and then I'm like, "Okay, sure, no problem." And then on Tuesday, so the day before we were supposed to get drinks, that's when he sent that text. I was like, "What the fuck?" Well, more
wait,
than
so
that.
he wanted to meet up with you because did he say why he wanted to meet up? Sorry.
He just wanted to talk and make sure we're all on the same page about the status of the relationship.
Okay.
Yeah. And I was like,
And
okay,
have
this
you
is a guy
ever
that knows
like
how to
had
talk.
that kind of a talk before with him?
That was going to be the first time we were going to have that talk.
How did you decide to be partners in the first place?
We kind of both just mutually came to that. At first he said boyfriend, and then one day he just said partner, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's what I've been calling you in my head this entire time. So I thought we were on the same wavelength until we wanted to really like talk things out, And then just out of nowhere, he sent that breakup text. I was like, where is this coming from? It's so bleh. I don't even have words to describe it anymore.
Yeah, good for you that you're back to dating already, because that's really, I go into like a dark place where I'm like, is there something wrong with me? Is there that's where I go when I.
Oh, I'm still there. I'm still very much there. I'm just using other guys as a blanket.
Yeah.
I've been on 4 dates since the breakup. So
yeah, that's pretty good.
And I've had sex like 10 times since the breakup. Yeah, 10-ish.
Okay, so some of them are just not dates. They're just
fucks.
This is so some of them. It's not a date if you're just fucking somebody.
Oh no! So 4 actual dates. Yeah. Like, getting to know each other on a intellectual level, and then I'll just hook up in between them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a threesome not too long ago. A couple of weeks ago, actually. That was great.
That's exciting.
Yeah, it was great.
Oh. What was good about it? What worked? Because threesomes are they don't always
work too well, right?
Work.
It's because everybody in the threesome is like very involved in the activity. No one's feeling left out. No one's feeling like, lack of attention. Everyone's always like touching each other and constant consent. It was great. Mm. Also, the guy's dick was the size of my forearm. So
yeah,
I felt it in my throat.
Yeah, that'll do. That's good.
Yeah. So the only advice is value myself, which I guess is, pretty good advice. And for anyone listening, that's good advice.
Go to therapy, value yourself, keep loving yourself. I meditate many days. I like stretch in the morning and do sort of like remind myself to love myself and be myself in this like mantra in the morning, where I like reach up to the sun and start the day and like breathe in and remind myself
that's very
that
gay.
The best gift I can give the world is to be myself.
Aww, that's so sweet.
Yeah, but it's true. I mean, I think like, I get sad when I have when I notice like a flaw or a mental health struggle or a struggle with OCD that I'm going with. I get into depression and I get into starting being like, why am I like this? And all these kind of thoughts. And the best medicine is like to accept yourself the way that you are, and that everything I have is a gift, rather than that there's flaws and there's strengths, but that even the quote unquote flaws are actual strengths in disguise.
Ooh.
Because they give you,
I want that on a shirt.
So it's like they make you who you are. They give you, they were there for a reason, to propel you somewhere, and to some new part of your life and give you some unique strengths that can be uniquely yours and that you can help the world with. So I think we find probably, I don't know how that translates into better like guys, but we getting better guys, but it helps with recovering from the breakup.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah, I can attest to that. It does help with the recovery process. Oh my God. Well, I'm going on a bunch of dates, and if you remember,
what do you mean it helps with the recovery process? What I just said?
That, and also just like dating again,
okay.
It helps me figure out and refine what exactly it is that I want, and also like it's a lot of self-discovery as well, which I am discovering more of myself with each date that I'm going on, what I want and what I don't want.
That's
just everybody do that.
And practically this person is not for you because of how they are acting.
Yeah.
That's the practical reality. There was a guy that I really liked last year, and he at a certain point acted really weird as I got more intimate. And it was heartbreaking because I did not see that coming. I did not see him freaking out because I thought he was very into our intimacy. And when I directed the conversation into like, I want to consider like being boyfriends, he couldn't communicate.
He backed up, yeah.
And it's like, now I thought about seeing him again recently because I miss seeing him. And then I remembered, it's like, no, this is going to end badly for me.
Yeah. It's very avoidant.
And so this person, I guess, unless they come back, and then maybe not even this, I mean, I'm probably too much of a softie, unless they come back with like, look, I'm really going through crazy shit right now. But he's already had a month to like give you some kind of reason. I mean, it's like in practice, this person barely hung on for 4 months. Like he was trying to be a normal individual, but he has a lot of work to do on himself, and he's not able to be a normal person in a normal relationship. He was basically faking for part of the relationship with you, trying to make this work and hiding his insecurities for fucking 4 months.
Yeah.
And the amount of people that he's done this with, it's not just you.
Yeah. He's very much like a huge child with too much money to handle. Yeah.
Sounds like it.
Yeah, he is.
Well, money also fucks people up, so...
Yeah, when you make 6 figures a year, yeah, you're gonna...
Well, I'm okay with 6 figures. Let's not get crazy, Tim. Good Lord. I mean, I think, you know... that's not... having $100,000 a year is not too much money than you know what to do with.
Oh, it's more. He made a lot more.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So in the
it was sexy, you know. Seeing that much money go into someone's bank account, I was like, that's sexy. But you can have as much money as you want. You can be as good looking as you want. But if you have a shitty personality, then go fuck yourself, I guess.
That's true. That's true.
Right? If you're gonna just leave someone and abandon them and treat them like disposable, yeah, go fuck yourself. So, yeah. But anyways, Keenan, as I've been saying, I've been going on some dates, and if you remember our last recording, and I had these cards with me.
Oh, cool! Red flag.
Your red flags. You remember? I want to see how well you defend these dates. Because
wait, so my goal here is to defend
this red flag.
The date.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. So the first date I'm going to go on is that he gives the best hugs. He loves me unconditionally, but he's going to bring his mom on the first date.
Oh, he's going to bring his mom on the first date.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. He's going to bring his mom on the first date. Yes. Well, his mom is an absolutely incredible cook, and she's there to simply assist cooking in the kitchen with him, and make sure that everything is spectacular. He's about to make you the best dinner in the world, and the mom is actually his sous chef, and so he's about to sit everything down. The mom is in the kitchen. She joins for dessert, and the reason she joins for dessert is because her son is a diabetic and she needs to supervise.
I'm diabetic
and it's
too.
Only because he's a recent diabetic and she needs to supervise, and she's just there because he just had surgery to remove his pancreas, and so she's there just to sort of make sure everything's okay. She didn't listen to the date at all.
Not one bit.
I have no clue if the pancreas is related to diabetes.
I don't know either, and I'm diabetic, so yeah, wow. That worked out well.
Okay, excellent.
She'll use Splenda for the flan and not actual refined sugar. Which I don't know if that makes it better, but
probably for a diabetic, right? Can diabetics have Splenda?
I think I've been
But then you
eating
just end up
anything.
with cancer instead of diabetes.
Yeah, kind of like pick your own adventure. Which way do you want to go? Cancer or diabetes? Do you want to lose your foot or lose your balls? Um, okay, great. I love that. And this next date, this last date, it's actually the same as last time we recorded. He's respectful, gives great massages, but he looks and smells exactly like my dad.
Oh, have I heard this red flag before?
Yeah, I want to hear your retake on this.
Okay, because we to disclose this to the audience, we recorded the second half of this podcast. The second half was missed.
Yeah.
So we're re-recording
Yep.
this months later.
Yeah.
Okay. So say again.
He's respectful. He's respectful. He gives great massages. But,
great massages.
Yeah, amazing, like RMT style massages. But he looks and smells exactly like my dad.
That's good that he looks and smells exactly like my dad, because my dad actually runs a perfume company and a cologne company, and has the best smelling cologne that's ever been invented, and it's very expensive. So the fact that he uses this cologne means he's rich, and he owns the Steiner. Owning Steiner perfume is extremely exclusive.
Lucrative.
So when ever since I was little, my how do I do this with it that it actually fucking works? He looks okay. So the massages. The thing is, I'm so addicted to these massages, and that I'm so relaxed when he massages me that like and I plug my nose as well with like anything. So I've stopped smelling. So I've stopped smelling because I love the massage so much that I plug my nose, and he relaxes me so much that we have sex, and I just use some kind of opposite of white strips on my nose so I can't smell. Good Lord.
It's one of those like Vicks, like Vapor Rub kind of sticks.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Exactly. Exactly.
So you're just gonna block every
Well,
sensation.
what happens is we love each other so much, and the massages are so good that we infect our entire home with leaked Wuhan coronavirus.
Oh,
and so
my
neither of us
God.
can smell anything. And we're just both just coronavirus up forever as he massages me.
You're gonna be in quarantine for the rest of your beautiful lives.
Exactly.
Oh my God. That.
And I'm happy as a clam.
Okay. Amazing. Well, Keenan, I don't know how else to end. But thank you again for
You're welcome.
coming on the show. You're always so funny. You're my favorite guest. And
Thank you.
You really are.
That means a lot.
You really are, which is
my
why
God.
I am giving you the spotlight for the end of my comedy series.
Oh,
So,
thank you.
Do you have like anything coming up in, what is it? If today's the end of March, April? Yeah? Like, do you have anything coming up?
I move around a lot between the US and Mexico. So go sign up. Go to my Instagram at Keenan Standup. And then when you click on the link tree, you can sign up for my mailing list. And I would love you to sign up for my mailing list to find out where when I have an upcoming show in your area, or to know that there's 7 people in Toronto, so I should go do a show in Toronto.
Yes, please.
And then if you are in Mexico, I'll probably have some shows in April in Mexico. So check my Instagram at Keenan Standup. And it's just kind of like, there's always stuff going on. So message me. If you can always collaborate. Ask me, if you want to work on something, or if you have a show idea, or just let me know.
Or want to hook up with you after your set.
Or want to hook up with me after a set is also. Please do tell me anything. Tell me I'm beautiful. Tell me that, you know, you like my nipples, that you like my muscles, that you like my forehead, then I'm happy with all of it.
Well, that's kind of the reason why I want you to come to Toronto, so that I can use my moves on you.
It took you this long to hit on me. I can't believe you went this whole separate hour without doing it. Yeah, you should. I want to be hit on by you.
Perfect. And I will.
And we can do a live podcast. We could do a live sex with him.
Right after or during?
Right after, because then we'll really be open. All the chakras will be open and we'll be completely...
That is true.
It'll be even better advice and everything after we
I actually just had 2 episodes.
After my baby giraffe fucks your...
my tight little... my black hole.
Your, I don't know, like beaver den.
Oh my god. Okay, deal. Perfect. And if we record after sex, it wouldn't be the first time. I have 2 episodes where I literally recorded right after we fucked. So
that's really interesting. That's an interesting experiment. That would be
That's coming out soon.
Did you reveal who it was during the episode?
Yes, they're
Jeez, wow, you're a very sex positive person. Like someone, I will say this, like you're so sex positive that it's disarming. Like I feel like I talk about sex, but when I get into the personal nitty gritty, sometimes like I'm jokey. I was like a gay man, but you are like you'll just go there directly about your sex life. And I think I'm still a little bit like, okay, like should I talk like everything and reveal everything I just did last night? Like who wants that? But there's some kind of power that I haven't figured out in your openness.
My openness, I leave it out in the open, my vulnerability. I have nothing to hide. And I hope that's what people get from this episode. You know, we've been having such a good time and laughing and being vulnerable, especially as like gay men, because that's kind of difficult in the gay community, that like we become emotionally vulnerable, because that's not really a familiar feeling to us, you know, especially as gay guys. But definitely. You know, that this has been such an amazing conversation, Keenan. You're amazing. I'm having a great time. Thank you. And I can't wait for you to get your sweet ass over here in Toronto.
I gotta get to Toronto. I haven't ever been there. I've got to get to Toronto.
You will.
It's true.
You're going to be here. We got like how many comedy venues for you to perform in? So,
and you guys are everywhere in Mexico. All the gays from Toronto migrate to Puerto Vallarta. I think I've met all of you already. If I went to Toronto, I would be like, hey.
Oh, I remember you.
In the boat bathroom.
In the Ultima Wagon.
In the Ultimo Wagon. Yes, I saw you from the Ultimo Wagon, exactly. In the Last Wagon.
And you only recognize me from the top of my head, because that's all you ever saw me at. Oh my god. All right. So people who have made it this far into this chaotic ass conversation, you know where to find Keenan at Keenan Stand Up. Sign up for his mailing list, and hopefully he'll be in your area soon, and hopefully he'll be inside of me soon. But thank you so much for listening to another episode of the Sex Ed with Tim podcast. Don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe. You're supporting sex positive content, queer content, and if you don't, then you're homophobic. I don't make the rules. So see you all on the next episode. All right, bye. Thanks for listening to the Sex Ed with Tim podcast. Sex Ed with Tim is created and produced by me, Tim Lagman. Music is Aces High by Kevin MacLeod. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram at GaySlutClown and at Sex Ed with Tim. You can also like and follow me on the Sex Ed with Tim Facebook page. If you enjoyed the show, please rate, review, and subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. Thanks for all your support.